And yeah, literally, I am not kidding. We are just going to sit here and bullshit. So if anybody's expecting anything amazing to happen,
we'll introduce some people.
Go play some games or something. Really.
Definitely not pertinent information.
While we, so we did the show of hands for people that have never been to the Mark Center. Who has never been to a MAGFest at all? Anyone?
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, I know we have people that have never been to MAGFest at all. So what you're getting is the thing that will addict you to MAGFest and make you want to go to the Gaylord for MAGFest 13. But maybe, sort of, you can kind of use that as a claim to fame to be like, I remember the Mark Center days. It won't be real, but you can pretend it is in your hearts.
I just realized we have the history lined up, like in line. Look at that.
Pretty close.
Is anybody getting a picture of this table right now? Because
if these two swap, that'd be more in line, but
right, sorta. Well, Rez is just sort of noise in the line here, and so is Ian.
Rez is the MAGFest drunkard.
Yeah, that Drunkard's his official title, but he's actually been to every MAGFest event since the first one. Yep. This half-point, 8.5-inch event, and all the mag stocks.
Okay, so for people who don't know what I'm talking about, just introduce yourself, Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe, and last month I climbed to the top of Mount Fuji.
The end.
I'm Rez, and I help run the land room.
I mean, introduce yourself, Joe. Half of these people have no idea who you are.
I'm the guy who started MAGFest.
There you go.
Thank this man. It's his idea to get this going. Hi, I'm Rez, and I'm an alcoholic. No, I was the guy that ran the LAN room for MAGFest 1 through 3 with a PlayStation 2, and then I just kind of burned myself out and kept doing it anyway.
And he doesn't stop.
Show up and yell at people.
And drink.
That too, yeah. I'm already up to 3.
I think I'm like still in new blood here, relatively speaking. I'm ITAC. I first started here with MAGFest 9, and I do internet thingies. And I get yelled at when that doesn't work.
So the history is Joe ran the first MAGFest, and it was MAGFest kind of by accident. He was trying to start an anime convention.
MAGFest 0 was called JoeCon.
Yeah.
No, that was MAGFest 0. I've got pictures of that.
That was in the basement of a comic shop, literally.
That was at Star City Games, if you know Star City Games. Short version is, it was supposed to be an anime convention, and then about a half a year into planning, we decided to make it a video game convention instead.
Glad we changed.
And Joe is leaving out the important thing, which is before they started planning the anime convention, he told me the story that him and Sean Ryder got really, really drunk at Katsucon.
Sean doesn't drink. I was drunk.
Oh, well, okay. So
I was at Katsucon 2001.
So they got
Katsu 7.
Joe got really drunk and he was falling down the stairs, and Sean Ryder's helping him out, and Joe is like, "Let's do this. We can do this better than they can do this. Let's do this."
Pretty much word for word.
And Sean was like, I don't think you're in your right mind, Joe. And
if he's talking about Katsucon?
Yeah, well, no one's in their right mind at Katsucon, but did I say that? Anyway,
say what?
I didn't say anything. Anyway,
exactly.
So Sean and Joe decided that they would reconvene as soon as Joe was not trashed out of his mind.
It took a while.
And they decided to do it anyway. So then AnimeCon became Video Game Con, and then they called it, MAGFest was not originally the Music and Gaming Festival, it was actually the Mid-Atlantic Gaming Festival. And I went to year 1 and had the time of my life, and a month afterwards, when I was clicking the refresh button frantically trying to figure out when the next dates were, I saw this cute little insert coin to continue, haha, we're not doing MAGFest anymore. Sorry, that's not really the spirit of your post, but I called
it's fading into
Joe
legend now. You can be sloppy with the history.
Why is this not vodka? Seriously.
Do you want me to go get some?
Yeah, we didn't have any.
I want to know, like, how many new people are here?
We did that.
So how many hands were there?
There were
a few. Half the room is the Mark Center,
and 5 people are new to MAGFest.
This is their first MAGFest.
So who hasn't heard these stories?
Well, at least, yeah.
I also started out by warning them that we were just going to let Brandon
Yeah, and I
talk.
just sit here and talk for an hour and a half. Anyone that's been here before knows this. You have questions?
We're
Oh,
only
well, I'll
like
answer them
6
when I'm done
minutes
with my
in.
story. So anyway, I
Yes.
bitched out Joe. I called him up at work. I was like, I want to talk to the guy that's in charge of MAGFest, and you can't cancel this. And Joe gave me things to do. He's like, well, you know, I don't have any staff, and I found some people that would do some things. And people were like moving away and going to school and buying houses and getting married and whatever. So he didn't have any department heads other than Rez, who we could just yell at and tell him to do it. So I was like, well, I can get some people to be in charge of that thing. And he's like, okay. He's like, why don't you email the guests and, you know, see how that's going. And so we emailed most of the guests, and one of the guests got back to us and sends me an email back. And it's like, hey, we're not going to make it to MAGFest. And in fact, can you not call it MAGFest? Can you call it something else? Because we're going to run our own MAGFest. I was like, what? I called up Joe because I thought Joe was dealing behind my back. And I was like, Joe, did you tell someone else they could like run MAGFest without telling me, or, you know, whatever? I thought I was helping you out, man. And then he's like, read me the email. And I read him the email. And Joe listens to the email, and afterwards he's like, Brendan, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sell you MAGFest, and you're going to get a website up immediately, and you're going to find a venue immediately, and you're going to announce it. And MAGFest will be yours. Just pay off half of my debt from MAGFest 1. I was like,
We wound up in the hole.
I think I have $50.
That part I remember.
And
Really
I
shitty
called up
car.
people, and I was, at this point, I really just wanted to get out there and, you know, like, do the deal and whatever. I couldn't find anyone to, like, lend me any money that I would pay back after I got my paycheck, and I couldn't find, like, anyone that wanted to go with me. And I talked to Phil, who was one of the other lumberjacks that's been to every single MAGFest. I don't think he's in here.
Maddox?
But, yeah, Phil Maddox.
Dude, he wasn't here last year.
Oh, really?
No.
No, he was.
He went to
He
a
didn't come to the
skiing
lounge.
trip. Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Because I heard him and one other lumberjack went off on a skiing trip.
He lives down the street.
We're
all
nit-
the
We're
time.
still doing introductions too.
We're nitpicking
yeah,
on
that.
lumberjack status
So,
here.
so Phil was the person that came to the first MAGFest with me with one other guy, right? And he was like, Brendan, I'll give you $50. And so then I had $100, and then I realized I might have some money in savings. I pulled all of that out, and I called up Eli, who you'll see running around in sweatpants, a t-shirt, ponytail, and glasses. And he became the guy that was in charge of registration at MAGFest 2. But I had to convince him not to do his homework from the next week and get in the car and keep me awake so I could drive from Williamsburg, Virginia to Roanoke, which is, I'm sorry, Joe and Rez, Bumblefuck, Egypt.
It is. It is.
So got in the car, we got there at about midnight, and Joe was at his house, and we walk into his house, and he's got a notary public right there, and he's trying to get his Canon bubble jet printer to work.
That was my cousin.
Yeah, and his cousin is the notary public, and we're like, all right, let's just do the paperwork. And finally, he gets his printer to work, and I sign the piece of paper, and we go over to his game store. He ran basically a retro, well, at that
Captain
time.
Game Station.
At that time, it was everything. Captain Game Station.
The game experts.
Better than Game Clop. And we picked up, 50 power strips and extension cables, 30 MAGFest 1 shirts, the database for the original MAGFest, and put it all in the back of a Toyota Corolla. And I went to sleep on Joe's couch playing Castlevania Rondo of Blood on his laser active. And then I woke up the next morning, I was like, oh fuck, Eli has a test to take at like noon or something like that. And from Roanoke, busted ass at like 90 miles an hour back to Williamsburg, got a speeding ticket in Charlottesville. That was kind of a bummer. And then, well, you know, because I only had like a couple $100 that I just bought MAGFest with, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just call this part of the bill for for MAGFest 1. So then I owned MAGFest, and Joe promised to stay on for MAGFest 2 as an advisor and whatever, and basically he was a vice chair that year because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And he got me up to speed.
He still
And
doesn't.
Get to the point.
We haven't even gotten to MAGFest 2 yet. So wait a minute.
We've got
Dom,
an hour and like 18 minutes.
I've got all of the rest of the
Yeah, we're not
years
going to
to
do
go
like
through.
the whole 12 years. And
Don't forget the 6 months in between that and that 1 week with the thing, and
Yeah,
you got to tell them all the details.
right.
Oh, tell them about your soda collection.
Tell them about your shower.
when the car.
My shower? My
the
shower didn't
axle-
happen until MAGFest 4.
What about when you were driving and the axle broke and the wheel went flying off and the car started?
So does anyone know what VG Expo is?
Oh, God.
No one? Good.
Let's not talk about
All right,
VG.
don't
I'm sure
tell them
Ed
about your
Fleming is
shower.
not is very happy that no one remembers what happened there. I was driving to DC with the guys that were in charge of the game room.
Wait 1 sec. You guys know there's like a giant arcade and a bunch of other stuff out there. All right, go ahead, Brett.
Video games.
We have consoles.
I warned them already. We can warn them again like in a half an
Yeah.
hour that this isn't going to stop.
At MAGFest 1, a ragtag group of people that now run something called the Tech
He's
Exchange.
still on MAGFest 1. I don't know if anybody's watching the clock, but
Yeah, that's right.
we're up to
No,
MAGFest
we're
13
actually
these
we're
days.
around MAGFest 4 now.
Yeah, okay.
We skipped some spots.
All right, continue.
I'll go back. Don't worry.
I'm
So
worried.
I used to have a Volkswagen Golf that I bought for $65, and it came with a free sofa. We actually spray painted MAGFest onto the back of it.
Brendan, I'm not drunk enough to go through all of these memories.
Steph, weren't you going to introduce yourself?
If you keep going, I'm going to tell about the time you puked behind your bed with
Oh, I'll
Bert
tell him
and
about
DJ
this.
Potato.
Come on, man. It's only like 2:30. I've only had one
I got
glass of
stories.
scotch today, okay?
Slacker.
So far.
I'd recently
Hold on.
gotten my
All right,
brakes
here, shut
fixed,
up.
and the
Shut up
guy
for just
didn't
a second. No, wait,
put
hold on.
the
Just
wheel
a
back
bit-
on my car very well.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to interrupt for a moment, just to give the overview, because we got started and then it got hung up around MAGFest 3.
We don't
Joe
talk about
started MAGFest. Brendan took it over for MAGFest 2. I went to 2. 3 was a gigantic clusterfuck, and I was like, these people need help. So I took over.
It was MAGFrat instead of MAGFest.
I took over, and the Mark Center years were 6, 7, 8, and 9, and I was kind of running the show for that one, and Brendan was doing whatever Brendan does, and I grabbed Dom to help during the Mark Center years, and then I dumped the whole mess on Dom.
Questionable life decision.
Yeah. So you got the sequence of people running MAGFest right here, and that's the very short history. What's up?
Because 9 was too many people.
Because 9 was some of the worst memories I have in my life.
So if anybody had problems with registration today, 9 was the clusterfuck of all the MAGFests. It's supposed to start at like 10 a.m. And I think people were waiting in line till like 8 p.m. The first night of registration for
We
MAG
had
9.
never had lines before. Like, no
Well,
one lined up for panels.
Nine's
one
where we
lined
learned
up
how
for
to get
anything.
good at
You
registration.
just walked in. We never, that was so much
9 sold out in
insanity. And
pre-reg.
then everything happened, and we're like, no, we need to empty out the room before we can do it. And it's like, no, everybody's pissed off. And it's like, oh.
No, the real reason, MAGFest 8 had around 2,000 people, and we felt that was a nice, comfortable number. MAGFest 9 had 3,000 people here, which we felt was too much. So we're like, all right, it's kind of, if you had to pick a Mark Center year, MAGFest 8's the closest one. So we'll just do MAGFest 8 again, 8.5, blah, blah,
It
blah.
also helps that it was like Hachi's idea. And
We had
Hachi is
better
8,
artwork,
and
too.
he liked
Hey,
it
I
a lot.
also
And
thought
he
of
has
that
the,
idea.
he has the tattoo.
Hachi, who is in Hawaii right now.
I still
for
think he
whatever
needs to
random
redeem
reason.
himself by
Yeah.
tweeting a pic of his arm held out and a Sharpie .5 drawn right next to his
Oh, we did that
tattoo.
immediately. As soon as he
Oh,
had
we
the
did?
idea, we busted out a
Wait.
pen and wrote a point
Okay,
five
we
on
got
his
another
arm.
As
question.
long as the base is recovered.
Nice and loud. He
I
wants to know
guess,
if we were going to get the
nobody-
Hachi
nobody got
cardboard
on that.
cutouts.
We're planning some paper craft sometime.
So this is actually 6.5. It's not 8.5.
In terms of the number of people.
We've tricked everybody. Event is being renamed because we thought it would sell out, but it didn't. We're arrogant. It happens. Anyway, I will now return you to your Brendan rambling.
Wait, who's got other questions?
Steph's gonna like die if we don't give her a microphone. So hold on, we don't want death, right?
I'm really tired. I'm really sorry. Does anybody have any things with Guidebook that you'd like fixed?
Who does not have Guidebook? Who knows Guidebook exists? Who has a smartphone? Okay, go into your, yeah, there's too many questions. Who thinks I'm asking too much? Go get Guidebook from the App Store or Google Play Store or whatever.
Or the cult.
Okay, go get a sheet of paper from Reg. Yeah, the signs have a QR code. Get Guidebook. It's going to remind you to go to panels, whatever. It's free. All the guests are in there. All the panels are in there.
Yeah.
Do that thing.
You can scan the QR code on any of the signs outside the doors.
Yeah.
Or just download it, whatever, you know.
Okay.
Stuff.
Because this person right here did a lot of work to put that information in there. And she would like to see you read it.
This is where you clap.
So much easier than 13.
Yes.
No.
There we go.
I just wanted to know if anything needed to be fixed, or if you wanted me to change anything, because there's always somebody.
You got to get a
who
little
wants
closer to the
something
mic.
done. So.
That's all.
Or what?
Because we're streaming this
They
to all the
can't
viewers.
hear
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry. Sorry. No.
I did
Okay.
take a picture, by the way, Steph, of the Guidebook. Oh, Guidebook just reminded me to go to opening ceremonies. How nice.
Oh yeah, right. And we have Gamer Iron Chef in a little bit, so hope you guys like that.
And if
Yeah,
you haven't
we're gonna
updated,
we're gonna have to make room and put some tables out and get things
Guidebook
set up
just
and
told
stuff.
me
How many-
AVGN movie has
How many
been-
lumberjacks in the room?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we got Rez up here too, yeah, but
Four?
Jesus.
Four's
and
pretty
Patty
good.
back
Don't
there.
we only have like 13 left or 11?
Yeah. Hi, Chris.
And I choose to ignore whatever's going on.
Stop.
Are we
Chris,
already getting into the
It's
orgies?
disturbing.
Seriously?
Please Stop.
There's not enough booze in the world for this.
I need another.
You've got like this, you got this bulldozer
Come on,
and
join
Fat
me.
Chris sandwich in the side over here.
you've got about 4 adults on you right now.
I got to do the face slap so the audience at home can hear it.
So here's the notice I got from Guidebook last night. It said, Maps, Marketplace, Proto Man's Concert, the juggling class will have props.
The juggling classes.
So,
They're balls, guys.
so make sure if you go to the Maps, the Marketplace, or the Proto Man's Concert, there will be props. But if you have any, please bring them, as they will be limited, especially Ola hoops.
No.
Ola hoops.
I looked
So
it
if
up
you
and
have
I'm
an
like,
Ola hoop, it must like a Mexican hula hoop, I guess.
I still Googled it, and there is such a thing as a
An Ola hoop.
Olay.
G-U-L-A, okay?
I thought it was
up.
Ole, and you do that
Google
with a
brought me
sombrero.
the hula hoop.
Hey, real
Hula
quick,
hoop.
who's staff crew in here, MAGFest people? Yeah, that's awesome. Most
See
of these
those
guys
people?
got here like yesterday and have been busting ass to get all this stuff set up. Right, yeah, we got here on Tuesday. It was insanity. That's the worst. And now somebody else speak.
Hi.
This is the awkward portion of the panel.
So I'll finish telling you the story about the Volkswagen, I guess.
I mean, if you're going to go to a really bad panel, you might want to get it out of the way first, right? So it's...
Well, there will be a reprise at the end.
It's actually a pretty short story where I was driving 70 miles an hour up 29, and the rear right wheel came off of my Volkswagen Golf that I paid $65 for while we were driving, and 2 people were in the back that ran the game room at MAGFest 1 through 4, and they were freaking the fuck out. They lost their shit.
They said they saw the wheel just fly up into the air.
And there were probably sparks that were like 2 stories or whatever. And I was a courier driver, so, you know, like driving all the time, know how to keep the car on the road, don't know how to knock over bottles. And we just pulled over, and a cop actually came and pulled up behind us. And I was like, so I'm having trouble with my wheel, and I can't find it. And the cop is like, well, you're on the side of the road, your flashers are on, and I didn't see anything happen, so I'm just going to leave you here if that's okay. Do you want me to call you a tow? I was like, all right, called someone. He'll be here in, 30 minutes or something like that. It's like, cool, carry on. But we were on our way to VG Expo, which is now dead because, in my opinion, it tried to expand too fast. The DC show, no one in here still has been to VG Expo. Remembers anything?
I do.
Yeah,
Met you.
that's where I met Steph and dragged her kicking and screaming into this.
Who was it kicking his
No,
you
I gave her a hug and she signed on.
He had this. He was very convincing. He had this beautiful thing on. You were wearing
A t-shirt.
a costume. No. It was there was a board in front and there's a board in the back and then there was the straps in between.
Oh, my sandwich board.
Your sandwich board.
I can't believe I still had that
He was
at
in
that
his adorable
point?
sandwich board. Later on, he's in his Wii remote.
Yeah, if you ever
which
saw
is
a
way better.
Wiimote at Otakon or some other anime con, like a white Wiimote with MAGFest flyers on the side, that was me.
There's no arms. He just goes like.
Yeah,
this,
it's
and
like my
wow.
arms are constricted. I would just go
funny.
get it, like, since it's a cardboard box, I would just kind of go like this to people, and you know, you'd see this like look of horror on their face as they're like getting rubbed by someone. They're like, "Oh my God, swell it!"
Did I just
You know,
have the look of
smelly,
horror?
you know, smelly, sweaty nerds rubbing up against me, and they turn around and they see your Wiimote, and their face like changes to either super confused or "Oh my God, that's awesome," you know, or whatever. And then I turn to the side and hand them a flyer and then walk away. That was MAGFest promotion for at least 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
Maybe
DC,
longer.
That DC VG Expo was like the worst ever. It was like, so you go in and then it's NBC and it's this big thing and they have the robotics competition over here and they've got whatever the heck else is going on. So there's this little itty bitty thing here in the corner. They have dance pads, but they're like slipping and somebody's gonna break their neck on the thing. And there's like this small strip. There was like a couple of guys with SWAT stuff.
Don't forget
There
one
was
person
X-Strike
brought.
Studios. That's where I met
Yeah.
them too. They had a little booth. I don't know if they actually
There was
sold
one
anything.
Atari flashback hooked up to a TV.
I think
I
I remember
think.
that. There was like a couple things that didn't make any sense to me over there.
And
so,
like a Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, it was just
maybe.
the DDR. I was really scared of
Yeah.
video going on the DDR.
But like they were supposed to be, I knew the organizer. They were supposed to be like the stars of the show, and it turned like NBC took over their show.
It squished
and
them into this corner.
yeah,
Just,
it was kind of weird,
it's kind of funny.
but yeah. So like it turns out that it was no big deal that my wheel fell off of my car. Getting there late was not a big deal.
Apparently, I look very bored right now, because I am. All right, who wants
Aren't
to hear
you
the puke
always?
story?
What do you do? Never mind.
Seriously, I'll
you
tell
want me?
you.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
You want me
yeah.
to tell you the
This
Jake
is good
story?
stuff.
All
This
right.
is the crap you don't get to hear about.
Does
So-
anyone know who Vert is?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Is Vert here?
No.
No.
He's not making this?
So
No.
I invited Vert over to my house. What was that like? Right, it was
Before
after
4.
It was before 4,
Yeah.
after 3. I had just moved to Charlottesville, and we found a hotel in Charlottesville to have MAGFest 4 at. Thank God, because the Williamsburg hotels were just not cool with us at that point.
And this hotel wasn't cool with us afterwards either.
Actually, I fixed that, but
Yeah, anyway.
whatever. Yeah, that.
So we
hotel.
decided to go to the ABC store and then the cigar shop. And I don't remember what we were drinking, but there was a lot of it.
So I'm going to tell you the moral of this story first, not last, which is
But then he's going to tell you the entire
yeah. But then you're going to hear the story.
No, then you're going to shut up and I'm going to tell the story.
Don't mix blueberry schnapps and cinnamon liqueur. It is a really, really bad idea.
And here's why you don't do that. So we're sitting around in Brendan's bedroom, and he's laying back on his bed, and Vert is sitting on the bed. No, Vert's sitting on the floor next to me, and Eric Ruth, he's sitting on the bed with Brendan, and we're all sitting around watching
Shaolin soccer.
Shaolin soccer. And
On a projector, which
On
was
a-
very nice.
And we're like, man, we're about 3 floors away from the movie, and I turn to Vert, I'm like, Vert, man, I didn't think this movie had 5.1 surround sound. He's like,
Someone got kicked in the gut.
and threw up in the movie.
And-
And I mean, he's like, it doesn't. And we both slowly look back at Brendan, and here he is, bent over the back side of his bed that's against the wall, and it was the most vile smell of liquor, a blueberry muffin, and puke I have ever experienced in my entire life.
Hadn't we also eaten at the Chinese?
Oh
buffet
yeah, that's the one
earlier
I got
that-
kicked out of
Yeah.
because I was
Do we
eating
have
too
a-
much.
Do we have an Adventures of Mag Crew panel on this schedule?
I can make one.
That is the right answer.
Not yet.
All right, go ahead. You can put me on the schedule randomly at like 2 a.m. too if you want.
You and your philosophy
Yeah, sure.
panel.
If you feel like it, I might show up.
Listen to Paul talk about existentialism.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to find me in the middle of the night, it just sort of happens that like around 2 a.m. when everything settles down, I find a room that doesn't have a lot of drunk people in it, which is kind of difficult. And inevitably the conversation turns to like the philosophy of video games or something, and we babble about whatever the hell. And I ended up putting myself on the schedule for that at the Gaylord, but I didn't bother here. But you know, that's
Why don't
what I
you
do
try
in the
it
middle
with
of the night.
drunk people, Paul?
Drunk people are stupid.
Hey!
No, we're not. We'll be stupid drunk.
Not yet.
No,
you don't.
Mike, you resemble the remark.
Actually, I'm gonna
Shut up, Paul wants to talk.
I'm gonna skip into my one little serious moment for just a second. I do this at every opening ceremonies, so you know how to behave at MAGFest, because we're a little bit different from everything else that you'll go to. Don't piss off the hotel. That's it. That's it. Like, we're cool with
Don't
whatever.
break shit. Don't vandalize shit.
There is
That pisses them off.
There is officially no alcohol in MAGFest spaces.
But your room is a rented residence
Right.
by state Virginia law.
Rooms are good,
What
and
you
the
can do in your
hotel is
own
all right
residence.
with people walking around with alcohol that they got from the bar, but it's impossible for us to enforce that. And we have some special cases and stuff, but officially no alcohol in MAGFest spaces. So if you're piss drunk and you're like, but I thought I could have alcohol in this room, and somebody's like, GTFO, just politely GTFO, please. But no, like within MAGFest spaces, don't be a dick, obviously. Everybody tends to get along. We don't tend to have a lot of problems. There's always one or two problems. Somebody does something stupid every year.
Don't be that guy.
We'll tell you some of those stories later.
Yeah, but no, like the one way to immediately get on our bad side and leave in handcuffs, which happens every other year, is to vandalize the hotel. Don't do that. But other than that, it's all cool.
Just remember the
That's all.
secret password. Does anyone know the secret password? There we go. Nick Marinelli, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's
Brendan
Nick
said it was okay.
hiding back there. Oh shit,
This-
that's right.
See
Nick
him?
is.
He's
You're right.
so far
Yeah.
away.
Okay, no, I got this. Check this out. Check this out.
Oh, God.
You know, I went through, no.
That was
That's
neat.
bullshit.
That was neat.
That is bullshit. I didn't hear
the-
that until now.
That's the first time I've done that and nobody has responded. Did you see what just happened?
There's a reason.
No,
That's
It's a
interesting.
wonderful thing.
Yes, no, we had great herd immunity this year, Paul. And look what you have done. I did not hear
I heard it
last-
earlier today, like an hour ago out there.
You know, this
So
would be like
the
one of those
legend-
zombie runs. You hear the roar of the Colossus and you die.
Some of us are just too old for this shit.
Nick would
No, I'm
prefer
not
that
too
you
old for
replace
shit. I'm just
Colossus
too
with
annoyed.
Nightcrawler. Does anyone know the sound that Nightcrawler makes? Yeah.
Oh, bam.
Nightcrawler doesn't bamf.
Nightcrawler, bam.
When you
Well,
push
he does,
mutant
no, but we're
power
talking about in the
he
game.
does the-
He bamfs multiple times and they're very quiet, so it comes out as a sort of kind of thing.
Bam. I mean, the comic. Bam. Bam. It's like
Is Charles still in here?
very specific.
Did he leave?
He was here. Yeah.
The guy that was sitting
got
in
bored.
Fat Chris's lap had an X-Men 6-player machine in the front of his house in Manassas, and we picked it up and we brought it to MAGFest. And
We still have it.
we do still have it, and things were not quite the same ever since.
People don't.
Does anyone in here not know everyone else in here?
Duh, we
Make
got
some
people who
friends,
have never been
goddammit.
to a MAGFest.
All right? Like, MAGFest is so small at this location that it is actually possible to know, like,
Brendan,
I'm gonna set a bar for you. Know
Yo.
half of the people at MAGFest before you leave.
If you don't make at least 5 brand new friends, you're doing something really wrong.
Yo, real
Seriously.
quick. I want
And that's
to
what I did
introduce
today,
this
by the
dude.
way.
This is still introductions for those of you keeping score. Here, come here. This is Nick Marinelli. He's
Hey, Nick.
Nick,
say something inspirational, Nick. Dear
Nick
God.
fits somewhere right behind me in the sequence.
I don't know.
I fucked up the whole
Thank you all for
sequence, so-
coming to MAGFest 8.5. I appreciate it very much.
Have you ever seen any very politely worded like MAGFest eloquence on Facebook and Twitter? It's usually him, which is really funny because it's him, and if you know Nick, it's probably a lot of effort. Am I right?
No. See, there's the Nick in print, and then there's the Nick everywhere else. The Nick everywhere else is when we're sharing a room at with a bunch of people at PAX East. He's like, okay, everyone, turn around, the dick's out. And I'm like, I have my glasses off. I can't see more than a foot in front of my face.
Okay, so, all right.
And now he's
Actually,
ignoring me.
Nick has good ideas for actual information that we should tell you people. Does, no, I've got one in my
Does anybody have any
pocket, I
M
think,
points on them?
that's- I've got an 8 one.
You've got an 8. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you are familiar with endpoints.
Okay, so that's like half the room.
Raise your hand if you're not familiar. Okay.
Right.
So at MAGFest, we think competitive gamers are total assholes, and we hate every single one of them. So we introduced a concept called M-Points, where in lieu of giving out super flashy prizes at our tournaments, we give out, basically it's Monopoly money that you can spend anywhere inside MAGFest. So if you win a tournament or you just do something cool in general, a staff member might give you an M point, and we are reusing the M points from MAGFest 12, which are right. They're not Zelda. Shh, don't tell Nintendo.
They are official
From a
Zelda
popular
rupees
adventure
sanctioned
game.
by Nintendo. TMRC.
Seal of approval.
We are not streaming.
Now, if it was a
Thank
seal of approval,
Oh, yeah,
we'd be
maybe
able to
we're
release
streaming.
1 M point a year.
Maybe I just gave somebody some legal fodder. Yeah. Now, okay, I have an important question. Is there a way that they can get M points?
I just said.
Right. No, but I'm saying, do the tournaments actually have M points? Are they allocated?
Yeah.
That's been handled?
Yeah, Chuck's taking care of that.
Because last night that wasn't handled.
I just walked in the room where the endpoints are, and it was like Scarface with cocaine just piled up 5 feet high. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen.
So
Nick would know, he's Italian.
These are MAGFest money, and not these. They look like this, except they're more rupee shaped. And you know, if you win tournaments or impress somebody in the hallways or something, you might get one, and then you can spend them at the dealers.
Are those endpoints a whole bunch of your little friends? Food trucks.
Yeah, yo, hey, check this out. Tomorrow at some time that I can't remember right now, probably near lunchtime,
You have your guidebook, Dom?
food trucks are coming.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're just going to be out front of the hotel.
Yeah, they're going to be out in front of the hotel. I think it was like 11 to 2. Don't quote me on that. I'm just the logistics guy. All right, yeah, I have the information. That's cool.
Just remember, wrap your burrito before you use it.
Yeah, and this is kind of cool. We always tell venues that, if you have a little bit of lower priced food, people will go nuts for it. They have like a $10 pizza special here from 5 to 10:30 or something like that each night. And you can get like a whole pizza from the hotel for like $10 or something. So there's going to be details. We'll put it in Guidebook and some other places, probably post it around. But that's pretty cool. So. $5 thing at the bar from 4 to 7. Oh, sweet. Okay, that's awesome.
Cool.
She wants fish and chips today. Sorry.
I want to
Steph, thanks for contributing.
So, all right, what are we doing here that's interesting? I wanted to tell everybody about the Horizons room. Yeah, no, but I mean, like we don't do at a normal MAGFest. We have guests every MAGFest. Who cares about the guests? you know, John St. John will be here. Whatever.
Where is that guy?
He went.
He's
He went-
relaxing.
He's probably at a room party
No,
or sleeping.
No, I know where
He's
he is.
relaxing.
I know
Maybe
where he
both.
is, and it's interesting. He went on a tour of the Pentagon with Big Adam.
Hey,
Right,
I want pictures
That's
of
gonna be
that.
interesting.
right.
That's the most random
So are
thing
they
I've
gonna
ever heard
get
in my
kicked
life.
out for
Right.
like being loud or tall?
Yeah, I don't know.
Both?
All I know is Big Adam was drunk last night and told me about it very excitedly. That like John St. John came to him and was like, "Hey, have you ever been in the Pentagon?" And he's like, "Well, I got like a +1, and I thought of you immediately."
Wow.
So, yeah.
Nothing says defense like Big Adam.
You mean like Duke?
Yeah.
Come on, make them rhyme or onomatopoeia. What am I looking for? That word.
A clue?
Alliteration.
This is why we have guests.
Yeah, John St. John is a lot funnier to listen to than we are. The rooms that hang off of the marketplace, there's a room in there that we're doing a thing that's called Horizons. A guy that has been running MAGFest arcade tournaments for years made his own bridge simulator. If anybody's familiar with Artemis, it's a lot like that. Same basic deal. But his is like nice full 3D, and like he's doing a lot of things better than Artemis.
Tell them what a bridge simulator is.
Well, I'm getting there.
Okay.
It's an awesome party game. It's great for MAGFest, and it's great for like your living room when you got a bunch of people over and you want to play video games together, because it's basically a Star Trek bridge, and everybody mans a different station. You just like get a bunch of laptops, and somebody does engineering and somebody does weapons, and it's actually really cool. You get the main screen in the living room or whatever, and everybody sits around and does their Star Trek thing, and it's really fun.
you know, the sick thing with that is you can do your client on your smartphone now.
Yeah, well, no, that's part of the thing with Horizons that's very separate, very different from Artemis, is he's using HTML5 for the interface for all of the consoles. So, like, any device that you could possibly bring up a console on, you can. But he's got, like, really cool panels with touch screens and the whole deal, and they're going to be running games in the room that's off of the marketplace, which is why I'm telling people, because you wouldn't notice that room otherwise.
It's
pretty sweet.
Mike's telling us how he's going to get on the Anaconda here.
Ride the snake.
Getting on my Anaconda, what?
You want
That's
to?
why he's wearing the kilt.
Exactly.
Not saying a word.
You can tell stories if
All
you
right.
want. Dom has a story.
Check it out.
Wait,
We-
I'm gonna do a micro story. I'm gonna see if I can do the fastest possible version of this story. When we came to this hotel, I was starting to take things over, and I was working with Brendan, and me and Brendan were doing a good cop, bad cop thing when we talked to venues, because Brendan was like, "Yay, MAGFest is awesome," and I was like, "Actually, MAGFest is full of drunk people who are gonna vandalize your hotel. We're gonna have underage drinking and pot smoking."
He wasn't lying.
To be fair, we did that at MAGFest 5
Right.
also.
By the
And
by the
4.
time we got here, it had just turned into a bad cop thing. Me and Brendan were just like, "So we're gonna fuck up your hotel. What's up?" And
Also, we had a problem with music shutting down early at our previous venues, so I told the hotel CSM or the sales manager that if their manager on duty came to us and told us to shut down the concerts, we would tell them to fuck right off, in those words.
Yes.
And she said, "As you should."
so, the first meeting we had at this place, Brendan didn't even give me time to get into it. He just laid it out. He opened with like, "Okay, here's the list of crap that's gonna happen and how much we're gonna fuck up your hotel." And our sales lady was listening politely and waited for Brendan to finish. And when he finished, she said, "If you do it on the weekend after New Year's, you can do anything you want." And that was the beginning of a beautiful relationship with this venue.
Yes.
So that was how we got in here.
We were also 15 minutes late to our meeting because we went to Stone Hot Piz down the street.
Right. Yeah.
Stone Hot Pizza had the A vandalized and removed from the sign, so it,
It
said
wasn't
Stone Hot
vandalized. The
Piz.
light was just out.
And we both saw it in two separate cars and just pulled into the parking lot instinctively because we were like, it says Stone Hot Piz. And I get a text message from Paul that says Stone Hot Piz represent. And we actually went and got pizza when we were already late to the meeting and brought the pizza back to the hotel. And when we walked in the front door, they gave us a draft contract on a meeting like 15 minutes late to the meeting, and you know, whatever. They were ready for us. They already knew what they were getting into, I think.
That's fun.
Good times.
Yeah.
Also that year, we put this guy named Dom in charge of a place called Jam Space where you can like play instruments and stuff. And then afterwards, we put him in charge of everything.
Sucker. Again, I question my life decisions sometimes.
Yeah, if you want to make a really good life decision, volunteer to do something at MAGFest and then do a really fantastic job of it.
And then you'll be in charge
You'll
of MAGFest.
get promoted to here, and your life will be gone.
What's up, Chris?
Oh, wait. All right, check this out. This is fun stuff. We need lots of internet all the time, and it's always been a nightmare. We used to do like a 56K modem. That was LAN one year. What was that like?
What,
five?
five?
We've
Actually,
got the
actually,
we had to
it
dial
was a
up.
14.4 modem.
14.4 modem.
ISA.
Just so that people could authenticate.
It's like
somebody
IP over
built
Morse
a
code.
PC so they could stick a 14.4 modem they had around so it could serve as our internet connection. That was at MAGFest 5.
Yeah,
Because
that was
all our
fun.
other options fell through, so we ran on a 14.4 modem plugged into a freaking phone line.
Yeah, so over the years we've been trying to improve our tech and a bunch of other stuff. And the short version is we at the Gaylord last year, we actually knocked on a random guy's house next to the hotel. And we're like, hey, can we put an antenna in your backyard and point it at the hotel? That would be cool, right?
Well, the thing with that, with
and-
Nick's part is when I'm not trying to sell you anything, but because we're trying to figure out what to do.
No,
Because before that was off the water tower.
Right.
We-
Yeah.
So we got someone top tier Fios Quantum
Yeah.
and beam it across the river so that we
I like
can
how
have
4 people
high
are telling
speed.
this story now. I'm going to
No,
chime
look,
in.
this is what
Yeah.
actually happened.
The truth is in here somewhere.
Yeah, we went up. We were on the Gaylord. Like, man, where can we get internet from? Like some kind of tower or some kind of thing. We're like, oh, hey, there's a guy's house. We should go, pitch him something. We'll work on some pitch materials. Make it very professional. Half an hour later, I'm eating at a restaurant, and I get a call from Nick, and he's like, I did something kind of impulsive. And he just knocked on the guy's door and got the approval for this thing. And we were drilling an antenna on the side of this guy's house and backyard. It was so awesome. So
When the National Harbor.
that's in National Harbor about 10 miles away. And it just so happens that we're in a really tall hotel. So we sort of just took the dish and pointed it a little bit that way. And we have a dish on the very top of the Mark Center. So we're getting our primary internet connection over a 10-mile link that actually goes over like the DC Beltway and stuff. Yeah, and then we have another wireless setup from there that beams down to the lower roof and across to our staff suite for internet access and some other stuff. So
And then Verizon had to go and cut
Right.
the damn cable.
yeah, after all that incredible
Wait,
tech
did we
got
lose
working.
it to rats again or something? Or
Yeah,
ants?
the last time the ants chewed through the Fios cable, that sucks. But today we have no idea, and it's currently down. Of course, spent all this time setting it up.
No, we finally get to the point where we have decent working inside internet, and there's always something, because it's MAGFest, that goes work and fucks the whole thing up.
Yep.
It was
At MAGFest 6, the hotel swore up and down that they would give us good internet service. And I was like, what is good internet service?
That was a
I want at
2880.
least like 5-10 megabits. And they were like, well, we could do 5, and we can give you like, a megabit in the other direction. I was like, 5.1 internet. Okay, that's better than we've ever been offered before. And keep in mind, this is, like MAGFest 6, so it's like 6 years ago, right? So that wasn't bad.
Dark ages
It
of the
turns out
internet.
they gave us 5 megabits up and 1 megabit down.
I hadn't even,
And
all I knew
I
was it was
pitched about it to
inconsistent.
James, and he gave us the internet for one day for the entire weekend price.
Yeah, no, and for anybody who's unaware, the reason we jump through all these ridiculous hoops is because the cost of internet from a venue like this, and the Gaylord is just even astronomically higher, is so high that it's a very significant chunk of the budget for the entire event. If we were going to buy internet for the play, I mean, just to sketch it out for you, our budget for the big MAGFest at the Gaylord is almost around $500,000 these days. And to buy the internet connection that we would want to have from the Gaylord at their regular prices is around $50,000.
Assuming they could even provide.
Who thinks they have a high residential internet price? Who thinks their internet costs too much? How much does your internet cost? 140. What do you get? 100 meg down?
Yeah.
Is it synchronous? Is it FiOS or both up and down?
Symmetric is the word.
Or
Yeah.
symmetric, yeah.
Hey,
Whatever.
where do you, can we see your house from, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody
Let's
have
talk after the
have a
panel.
house that might have line of sight to the Gaylord? Because we could use some redundancy.
Yeah.
we're building a MAGFest
Can you see my
network.
house? We have 150.
I don't know, maybe.
No, and
No,
again,
see,
pretty far away.
We need
This
one on
place is
Comcast
awesome.
and one on Verizon, so when one of them
Right.
fucks up,
Right.
Yeah. This place is awesome because they not only let us install an antenna on their roof, they set us up and cleared us. We didn't end up doing it, but they cleared us to run our own wire. Like basically they were just like, yeah, you want to set up the MAGFest ISP in the building? Go for it. Whatever.
You know, the best part about that is a 900-foot spool of fiber in the warehouse that they gave us one year. Like, here you go, you want fiber? And we're like, great.
That's where that came from?
Yeah,
Holy
it came
crap.
from here,
I had no
like
idea.
at MAGFest 8.
That's weird.
That's actually really good news because at MAGFest 9, I tried to actually purchase Comcast cable and run it to a hotel room, and they wouldn't let us. So,
Yeah.
you know,
No, we've
we
talked
slowly
about,
get more and more each
We've
year.
talked about schemes like, go to the apartment down the road and get like cable from somebody and then just get a mile-long coax and gaff tape it to the road because that would be a lot cheaper than actually buying it. And, the solution that we've finally come up with is almost as ridiculous as that, but it mostly works.
$50 for
Mostly.
a month of service and like a $200 early termination fee on, like a contract of internet service is nothing compared to, even like $1,000 for internet.
And now Brendan is going to read you the end user license agreement for.
Yes. Oh, hold on, let me pull it up.
Okay.
Well,
all
that's just
right.
'cause he can't pull
what
it out of
time
his
is it?
ass
How
in
long
front of
have
the
we been
audience.
babbling?
About 50 minutes.
Do you want to come up?
Yeah,
Get-
you should
get
come
up
up.
here.
Yeah, get up here.
Get up here.
Say
This is-
hi.
Wait, if you.
Sup?
MAGFest
We've got
employee
another
number
convenient
2.
line right here. The
Oh.
four of us. MAGFest is an all-volunteer organization. Everybody does everything for free, except for the four of us.
And actually, it's less than minimum wage, I think, when you count all the hours they put in.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a terrible life choice.
No, like if you want to be treated the best working for MAGFest, just volunteer, sign up for some shifts, do some easy work, and leave it at that. Because we treat those volunteers fantastically. We give you a hotel room after you do it for a year. We feed you. Like the hours are no problem. It's all cool. As you move up in the ranks, you have to spend your own money and work far more hours and get into the drama and everything.
So
Then
they
you
got
end
the-
up
the
like
thing-
me.
No,
Yeah,
no one can end up
basically.
like you, Rez. See, you were, I think it was MAGFest 10, you were joking that the department head ribbon cost about $1,000.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
gone up
probably-
since then.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere around $1,500 now.
Yeah.
And the one thing I'll tell you is I come from a hell of a distance. I come from about Boston for just about all the mag things now, and it's Stockholm syndrome. You get roped in, and you can't leave your abuser.
So, all right, I'll tell this story pretty quickly. We got too huge, so we hired Dom because we didn't have any option. And
said
Dom
you
makes
loved me.
not much money, but he's a suburban boy and doesn't know how to live on little money, so we pay him too much.
Still question my life decisions.
He doesn't know how to do laundry or cook or anything like that. So.
Now.
He's Italian. He has no idea how to make spaghetti.
In theory, it's not hard.
In theory, you're hearing this. He's not denying it. He just said in theory about spaghetti. Like, how
trick
many
is you
people have
order
not
it out,
cooked
right?
spaghetti by age, what are you now? 28, 29?
I forgot.
So we hired Dom because we had to, and then we needed more help. So we hired me, and I'm terrible, so we fired me. And we hired Channy and Steph. to basically be Dom's bitches and do all the work that he needs doing.
Now, just so you know,
He's
Dom
gonna be
is the
my
bitch.
bitch really
Yeah.
soon. He has a leash.
That's actually why we hired Steph, because she holds Dom's leash quite well.
This is the new wireless SSID I'll do later. Dom's leash.
There's been a multiple changes.
Is the current one?
We are
Dom's
canceling
penis?
this
Is that the
panel
joke?
next year. It's just
No,
going to be
no,
like
okay, so
opening
I gotta-
ceremonies,
I gotta
1 minute. It'll be like, this panel is canceled. Next panel.
So we have a meeting before all the MAGFest called MagCon, and we did one for last year for M12. And since we were trying some of the new wireless stuff we got with the beaming this shit over the river and stuff, I brought my wireless infrastructure, and we're joking around like, we're gonna make the staff one. We're gonna call it Dom's penis. And we just, so this like, comes around to an event, like, no, we won't do that. And so we got like all the corporatees, the MAGFest staff, MAGFest admin, MAGFest blah, blah, blah. So we come around, oh, it's 8.5, it's a throwback to the old days, so we made it Dom's penis.
Because that's what the old days were all about.
This panel is canceled.
Well, actually, if it was the old days, it would have been Paul's penis, but.
Well, you know.
It's still canceled.
And it was like, that's not cool. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're right.
Then
You
it
know,
was just the
we're
penis.
Then it was just the penis.
Now it's the anaconda.
And no, I'm not
I
going to
think
give you
we're
the
running out of
password.
even boring things to talk about, and we've got 10 minutes to burn.
No, I think we go till
We got
3:30.
8.
What's that?
I thought we went till 3:30 for opening ceremonies.
Oh, God, that's ridiculous.
Unless
This panel
Brendan's
is
gonna
now
talk-
canceled.
Unless
How is-
Brendan's going to talk for another
How are
half
any
hour.
of you still sitting here? Really? There's like pinball machines.
There you
and-
go. Good job.
Good job. Congratulations.
That's what I would have done.
Get out there and enjoy it.
You made it out.
Congratulations.
You're such crap. We really are.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
So are we just telling stories until they up and leave? Or is that
That's
closing
kinda-
ceremonies?
We're usually not that mean with the opening ceremonies, but this event is special. We usually do that with the closing. At some point, closing degenerates into half-assed feedback, and then when feedback has gone on for like 3 hours, I'm finally like, you fucking, why are the 4 of you still sitting here? Get out, just get out. Just, you're bad people at this point. You're just
Yeah.
stupid.
I think Mike Buffet wants to say something.
Buffet wants to say things. Excellent. He knows how to speak.
Oh, yes.
As long as
Tech
He'll
Ops
be
is
the only
gaff
one
tape.
speaking.
Did you actually have anything to say, or did you just have duct tape?
That too. Nah, come on out. We're doing some arcade tournaments today. I think they're going to get uploaded in the schedule, so maybe you'll see them. But come out. We got ice cold beer and stuff, and Mortal Kombat, and a bunch of other things to play.
The game,
By
not the
ice cold
drink.
beer, he means a mechanical game where
Huh?
you raise a ball on a bar.
Uh,
and-
Talk to Derek and Carrie are doing it now. Like now, they're making it stuff. They're sitting out there at the back. Yes, come on over to the desk. I will show you.
Or you can just write it down.
Yeah,
So-
Buffet's like the granddaddy of the arcade stuff here, so this guy deserves props. And they've done a fantastic job every year loading in and loading out these fuck-ton heavy machines.
That's
I love
that's
it.
the
That's
nice version.
Yeah, this,
My version is some people can't quit cigarettes, some people can't quit heroin, some people can't quit arcade machines.
Yeah, well, I'm over 100 plus cabs now, so you know.
He doesn't have anywhere to put them. He just like tucks them in his bed and sleeps with them.
Yeah.
The,
Pretty much.
the dog lives in an arcade machine. The food gets stored in an arcade machine. I wish I was joking.
Fat Chris. Yeah.
yeah, you,
Come up
you
here.
just-
Yeah,
Fat
come here.
Chris has been called up to the stage. This guy does a lot of the electrical stuff now.
As he empties his
Unfucks
pockets.
the things. Now, see, no, I thought the ice cold
Man,
beer
that's
was a
plain.
game. Up, here you go, man.
Introduce yourself. I need a couple Mike Haggard jokes.
This man makes sure that we don't have power cords melt in half, which has happened quite a few occasions.
Often.
Or that we have like ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right. What's up, everybody? All bullshit aside, I'm Fat Chris. Nice to see all of you here. Thank you for coming to make this event what it is. No shits are given when it comes to getting work done. And there's a hairy son of a bitch in the corner that has not taken credit. he and his lovely young lady have been working their asses off for the past, speak English to this. His name is Mike Peliquin. This is not about me. I do my job, but
He's hiding.
I will tell you right now that somebody has done more work than me, and that's hard to do. So everybody give it up for that guy in the corner. His name's Mike Peliquin. Thank you.
And we don't pay him. He's just a sucker.
And anybody in here know who Mike Hager is?
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Does
God.
anybody know?
Wait, here. I got
Has
it. I
anyone
got it.
played
I know
Final
this one.
Fight?
Oh my God. Mike Hager! All right, so I'll tell you one joke and then I'll be done. Mike Hager is such a real man that when he walks on treadmills, the treadmills stop because they can't carry his weight. Mike Hager is such a real man, when he walks into a bar, the bar says, ouch. Last one. Mike Hager can walk on, Jesus can walk on water, but Mike Hager can swim through land. So,
Chris.
you guys enjoy everything. Don't listen to what this guy says.
Mike Hager is such a man that when he walks into a bar, he hits the punch button, picks it up, and wields it as a weapon.
That's
Mike
bringing
Hager's such a
realism
real
into it.
man. When he walks
That's
into a
the
public
literal
bathroom,
version.
all the toilets flush on their own. All right, I can keep going, but I'm not. So, everybody, thank you guys for coming. It means a lot to us, and you actually made us help our budget because you had to make us make numbers. Is that it?
I have
Something
no
like
idea.
that.
We're
Whatever.
probably losing
So,
money
thanks for
on this
coming,
event.
all of you. Give a round of applause for each other and all that other good shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have a correction to an earlier sentiment that was expressed. Everybody in this room is your friends. You don't need to make new friends. This is all of them right there. Yes. Give them all hugs and everything. Right. Exactly. There we go. Okay. That's all.
All right.
Hold on. My turn, Dad Bernie.
Huh?
Yeah,
Buffet says shut up.
that's right. I'm bigger than you. But anyway, we
And
give away
hairier.
Yeah, we give away lots of mag points for the tournaments we have in arcades. So come have some. 7 or 8. Anyway, check the schedule. They'll be up. So come have fun in the arcade.
And the people that sign up for the tournaments are often drunk and or suck, so you have a chance at winning M points.
This wouldn't be open at ceremonies without me hijacking and advertising my panels, so I'll go ahead and do that.
That's fine.
That's technically what we're supposed to be doing here, but
Right.
then I told you a story about a Volkswagen, and then it was down.
He has a panel about Volkswagens.
I do
And
have a panel about
blueberry puke.
Volkswagens. It's anytime out there. After this is Iron Chef, which is something that we are not allowed to do at the Gaylord, so we're very happy that we're able to do it here.
Making the judges thing right now.
For the longest time when I cooked, which is technically still today, I used microwaves, blenders,
We got a whole
And
crew
George
of people that are
Foreman's.
going to make an
Well,
escape
you
here.
upgraded
And that's it.
Congratulations.
You upgraded the blenders?
no, I always use blenders.
Oh,
Gotta make smoothies and something. So, we're gonna have 3 teams of people that are only allowed to cook using a microwave, a foreman, and a blender. And they're going to have to make food for me, Brental Floss, and John St. John. And, oh, is Chef Ben trying?
I asked him.
Oh, okay.
I asked Jenny to ask him. And I was trying to get a band member, but I haven't.
And I don't like veggies or seafood, so if anyone makes anything with those things, I'm passing them off to my girlfriend Jill, who you will sometimes see at the merch booth. She's actually in charge of registration, but not here.
Not here.
Part of registration, she's a department head.
There's people for lots of things.
If you're into chiptunes, I'm running a Chiptunes 101 panel tomorrow at 3:30 in panel
We were
3.
seriously scheduled for another half hour.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we usually talk for
Hey, Janice.
over the hour.
Janice, if you can hear me, bring Max out to be cute. That's all.
Is the door locked though?
That the door is
Yeah.
bolted locked.
Right. That's
She'll
right.
have to
There's a
come
back door.
around. If anyone wants to come to a demo scene panel, that's noon on Sunday when you're all hungover. It's all right. It's fine.
Yo, wait, here's some other new stuff, by the way. We, weather permitting, we're going to have stuff happening outside, which is a new thing for MAGFest. It's always been like 0 degrees outside.
10:30 or
I
11
don't
tomorrow is Chiptunes outside.
Like announce stuff?
Yeah,
Um, something else is going on.
you'll hear it.
Here we go.
I figured you'd hear me.
I can hear
Grab the mic.
That is a hell of a slinky.
This is Max, and he's the reason I am no longer in charge of MAGFest.
X is, later in the alphabet than G. So
He just wants his slinky.
replace Mag with Max.
So you guys can credit Max for saving MAGFest. This is the only time I get to kick Paul's ass.
And this is Janice, and she's the reason I was able to run MAGFest for years, because I didn't have a job. She did. Max wants to grab things and drool on them.
Anyone have any, it doesn't even need to be a solid question. You can just ask us stuff.
Now he's
Yo.
reaching.
Yell it.
So how close did we get with free range to the 2000 head count?
We're
So,
Like 1,000
about
prereqs.
arrogance.
we got about 1,000 people in the system right now. We're expecting that to jump to like another 200, 300 people at the door or something like that. So super solid. Nothing wrong there. So it's cool.
That was a real question. Ask us something dumber. Oh, God. I can tell you it will be called the download spiral. I want to do a U2 album for my dad, but after that,
Another escape.
probably that.
Congratulations.
What's up? Do I do what?
Did you ever find your tire?
Oh, did I ever find? No, it's still off of the road somewhere. If you go up and down, it's going to be on the northbound side of US 29 near Madison, Virginia, somewhere, like in Greene County. If you want to look for it, you could eBay it and get lots of cash for everyone in this room that's heard the story, right?
Yo, by the way, actually, there's some other stuff that's happening. We've got a Baltimore show on November 1st. It's called Monster Party. It's a Halloween-themed show. It's at the Wind-Up Space in Baltimore City. It's going to be pretty sweet. We actually have a Game Over show, which are these smaller shows we put on in random cities. We have one coming up in San Jose, California, on October 11th, I think. Yes, 11th. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Faux reels. MAGFest is about participation. Get involved. Any of you that are not staff, which is like most of the room, get into shit, meet people, learn stuff, help us out in whatever way. Most of the cool parts of MAGFest came because some random person was like, hey, I have this idea that we should, throw a room together where people can just jam out. And we're like, yes, we love that idea, but we don't have anybody to run it, so come run it. And then they run it, and then
And then they question their life decisions.
Yeah.
When do we get the petting zoo?
That's
actually at Mag Stock 5, I think. That's
yeah.
coming
All right.
up.
That's
Yeah.
actually that makes a scary amount of sense. No, what he's referring to is we have to fill out insurance forms for every event, and I use the insurance form as a checklist of things we should aspire to, because you go down the list and the insurance form is like, will this event include any pyrotechnics, swimming events, petting zoo, monster trucks, tractor pulls, air shows, and it goes on. And I'm going down the checklist and I'm like, how can we come up with an excuse to have a monster truck and an air show and a rifle range and pyrotechnics as part of MAGFest? And,
All games, right?
right, yeah.
They're fun.
Games are fun.
We don't have a moon
why
bounce,
we're here.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like the moon bounce and the ball pit.
Right.
And then you get to the insurance thing and it's like pyrotechnics and it's like, wow, we were thinking real small with the ball pits.
Okay, so who thinks that it's a good idea to put a ball pit right in front of the stage, right where the mosh pit happens?
I think
no,
it's
right?
great.
Right?
It's
No, I
perfect.
think
The
ball-
mosh ball pit? Come on, I think that's the most brilliant idea ever.
I want to
And
be able to.
we've got about
Paul,
what?
are you going to give people extra hours in the ball pit?
That'll be the sad, pathetic little kiddie pool ball pit that's in the corner of the expo hall somewhere. But
What, like sitting at the kids' table at Thanksgiving?
We've got about 4 months to figure out if we
Yo,
can
there's a
get
guy with a
enough-
saxophone back there. What's up? I don't know.
This is the We Bullshit About Nothing panel, so come on up
This
here and
is
play
the
us
come
something.
play
You
us
should
some
play something on the
saxophone
sax.
panel.
Come on in.
Go for it.
Man, it's a saxophone.
All right,
and it's an
opening
alto. I
ceremonies
can't
is now
argue.
Careless
transitioning
Whisper.
into random musical.
He's gonna play
Whatever.
What do you
sax
know?
like
As
a
long
We
as
just,
it's not
Careless
we
Careless
just
Whisper.
totally put this guy on the spot.
Can you play Careless Whisper?
Anton, people call me Tuesday.
Tuesday.
For formality's sake, but Tuesday's fine. I was at last MAGFest.
Yeah.
My first one was
Cool.
cool. Ever since then, I've decided to wear suits at MAGFest.
Always some
That
motherfucker
makes as
that
much
says
sense
that.
as anything.
So,
Well, we did have Mag Prom, so.
This is how you get on the stage. Be a random person that walks by.
With an instrument in their hands.
Well, that's not even really a qualification.
all right, what do we want? Free bird. Can't.
No. Really?
No, all right. It's got to be video game music. We're in the opening ceremonies here.
Like the Super Mario theme.
Yeah, why not?
Super Mario theme?
That's too easy.
I mean, it's basic.
It's a good way to open.
Do some Zelda. We're gonna see. What key is that in?
Do the Half-Life 2 theme.
That's easy.
I'm gonna see Zelda.
I think the official Half-Life 2 theme is people asking if Half-Life 3 is.
Yeah.
I've never actually like learned this song, so I'm just gonna make it up.
All right, awesome. Suck as hard as you can. There we go.
Give it up.
That's awesome.